Hey guys, so before this video starts, I have to let you know about today's sponsor. And yes, before we get started, I know I'm a very small channel. But okay, so the reason why I have the sponsor first off is because I used to run a channel before this. I'm not going to say the name. But the company that's sponsoring me is Pyre Gaming Supplements, as you can see there. That is their logo. I'm repping their merch. They make the greatest tasting, like, just flavored supplements you'll ever try. I've heard a lot of good things about G Fuel. I personally haven't had it. I have talked to people who own G Fuel and Pyre. They say it is very close. Sometimes Pyre ones, sometimes G Fuel ones. And when it's a brand new company that can compete with G Fuel and flavor, well, yo, I gotta promote that. So, alright. I personally drink the God Mode Fanatic Fruit Punch flavor every time I stream. It is in my Gatorade bottle, which is currently in the fridge because I like keeping it cold. But yeah, I love drinking that, and it just keeps you energized. It keeps you focused, and most of all, it just allows you to remain calm during some tough choices in gaming, such as will I shoot my gun at this time? So yeah, if you guys want to, please use code GOLDEN at mypire.com. Link is in the description. And yeah, it would be a massive help. And I'll see you guys later. In the video, actually. So yeah, see you guys. Bye. Hey, what's going on, everybody? GSX Golden here with another video. So today we're going to be reacting to the TheSmithPlays Kino Der Toten or Zombies Retrospective. The title is literally Kino Der Toten is overrated. I placed Kino as a top 5 map of all time, so I really need to hear some good reasoning behind this one. So let's get right into it.
A classic, right? Within the Call of Duty community, Kino Der Toten may be the most cherished and beloved zombies map of all time.
I will stand by this map with my life.
It seems like almost everyone had their first zombies experience right here. As the game launch title, this was the map which introduced millions to the zombies genre, and as a result, really is the reason I can talk about it, and almost every gamer knows what I'm talking about.
That's fair.
It's simply the theater map.
Oh, granted, my first map was Doris.
Oh yeah, that one.
So,
seeing as it's held in such high regard by the community, it must be an amazing map, right?
Because it is.
Well,
it is.
Actually, no.
Oh, now this ought to be a good time.
Dude, just never say that again, Smith. I mean that, or whatever your name is, man.
Wow.
So ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Zombies Retrospective, a weekly series in which I crush your childhood harder than season.
Oh, wait, why are they disappearing?
Fandom. We're jumping straight in it today with BlackOps 1's Kino Der Toten. But if you want to go back through World at War first, there is a playlist you can follow down in the description. Anyways, let's just get straight into this one. So, I understand this is going to be a really tough sell. I'm about to explain to you, the viewer, and really an entire fandom, why the opinion that Kino Der Toten is a good map is wrong. Now, in order to explain why Kino is objectively bad,
also, I'm drinking Pyre, so
overrated, we need to define what makes a good zombies map. Through World at War, we looked at a few main things that really contributed to the creation of zombies: gameplay, innovation, and storyline. Gameplay includes things like
innovation is something that Kino did not.
But
I'll say that
most importantly,
but other than that,
subjective experience with the game. Gameplay is really at the core of every video game. It's the most important thing, and if the gameplay isn't strong, the game overall won't be good. Innovation obviously looks at ways the map brings freshness to the game, not always with features, but usually. And lastly, the storyline looks at characters, lore, and Easter eggs. These three pillars make up the near sacred triad of what makes zombies zombies. So first, let's start with gameplay. Kino Der Toten definitely shines in this area and is the main reason as to why people tend to like it. Kino is a tight, simple, and straightforward map that really anybody can play. If I had to describe Kino Der Toten in one word, I would say it's palatable. It's simple, good, and really has nothing which...
Okay. I'll admit, Kino, very much so based around people who haven't played the game that much. Like not advanced players, but like kind of like rookies in a way. They played maybe one or two matches. To Reese for another map from World at War. Not really experienced. That's kind of what Kino's built for, but that's not a bad thing because even advanced players can play it and enjoy it.
will turn off a new player. You start in a simple spawn room with limited weapons and have the choice to move two ways, which ultimately both lead to power. While movable, unlike previous maps, the box does not spawn in a set location this time, but rather can be found in any besides spawn.
Look at that.
While home to Mule Kick now, the original launch of the map saw our 4 main perks return, scattered throughout the map. And last but not least, players see the return of Pack-a-Punch. Kino Der Toten is straightforward to a T. You get all the things that you need, and then just try to get as far as you can.
Am I stupid? That's every zombie's
players it may be perceived to be too easy. I think it sits as a good basic map. It's great for beginners, and if experienced players want more of a challenge, they can set their own constraints on their gameplay. This is why things like the Pack-a-Punch challenge and things are so popular on Kino. So sure, it can be a little bit dry to play over and over, but Kino is a tight experience. So while core gameplay itself is solid, the first glaring issue that comes with Kino is the atmosphere. Kino Der Toten really fails to...
Okay. You cannot speak about the atmosphere of Kino. Literally, when you spoke about it, you showed the broken chandelier of the theater, which is incredible. I'll admit, some areas seem gray, and I think he's going to get into the coloring and all that of it. Some areas seem gray, but where it's colored, where there's a lot of setting, it's great. It's like a lot of other zombies maps in truth.
Strike a distinct tone and ends up coming off as dull. In fact, that may be the tone the map is going for. Kino is an abandoned theater. Everything is run down and dirty. While on one side it brings us to a more personal location that once knew happiness, it often only lands as uninteresting and plain. While each room is theoretically unique, most of them feel cold, gray, and eventually they all start to just blend together. It's only in the stage and alley where we
not really that colorful,
unique and engrossing.
I can agree on that.
The alleyway was the first bright area to ever exist in zombies, and it's a very nice contrast with the gloom.
Is that true?
Interior. But the stage is by
far
the most redeeming area of Kino. Giant room with an interesting teleporter that commands the center of attention. It's really a nice view. And so while the stage may be a truly iconic place of zombies history, the overall atmosphere of gloomy and dull fails to be truly interesting.
This is a personal thing I
wrote. From lack of replayability. While fun at the time, this is a map which hasn't aged quite as well as Doris. First of all,
I'll agree on that. The replayability factor on this game, on this map specifically, isn't like Doris. I've been playing Doris for about 10 years, or 11, so I haven't gotten bored of it. Kino, I can only play like twice. So every time I play a map, I normally just play it like 5 times. So, I think I've played it somewhere around like 800 times in total. After about that many plays, oh my god, you get bored of it. It's the same thing. Go to a stage, you get like a bunch of good weapons from the box, then go to teleporter, max set weapons, you get thunder gun. It's a lot of the same stuff.
The stage was designed with poor balance, and because of this, opening the small door next to the M16 makes training here extremely dangerous. This means that taking the alleyway on your opening route on Kino is inadvisable, and it forces the player to go the Mule Kick MP40 dressing room route almost every single
I've never gone that route.
Furthermore, the Thunder Gun, ironically one of the coolest things about Kino, makes the map extremely easy. While I will speak about its innovativeness later, in many ways it actually hurts the replayability of the map. Whenever you become
Not
cornered,
sure about that
just
one.
shoot and live. There are no consequences for poor choices, as it's a get out of jail free type weapon. And
It's not
even
really.
the guns feel generally uninteresting. There is something about them, but to this day, the guns of Black Ops 1 just feel like they weren't designed with zombies in mind.
That's true. I don't know. I'd say World at War was a much better, had much better guns for zombies. Weirdly, even though that one wasn't even planned. But in Black Ops it was planned, and it just seemed a little bit rough around the edges in a way with the guns. I don't know. I love Kino, and I think I think this complaint doesn't just go for the map. I think it just goes for a lot of the game, like a lot of the zombies maps on the game.
See, World at War had both bad and amazing guns. Black Ops 2 saw a more general rebalance of weapons, but Black Ops 1 weapons are boring. There are a few really great guns, and the rest is just a mountain of mediocrity, which is actually worse than having bad
Guns.
See, there are no real hilarious lows, like getting the Springfield or the War Machine, and that takes away from the value of getting something good.
If you get the Springfield
like
or
the
rip,
G11,
especially
China
the
and
Springfield.
ballistic knife, which despite being cool is not worth the slot. The ammo count on almost every wall weapon is tiny, and because of this, you basically have to buy an MP40. Many of the box weapons
I'll tell
are
you're forcing
mediocre,
a
and
box.
even upgrade, most of them are still unusable. The FAMAS,
Popcorn day.
HS-10, PM63, AK-74U are all really fun to use once upgraded, but they lack ammo, and this makes them infuriating choices. Furthermore,
I guess,
these
yeah,
snipers,
that's true.
shotguns, and SMGs in general are ineffective, especially in comparison to World at Wars. Even the LMGs faint in comparison. Considering a 30-year jump, a lot of the guns on Black Ops 1 just feel severely underpowered. Fortunately,
I agree with that. Black Ops 1 guns feel like World at War guns. Like, they should be much better, but they're not damage-wise. And also, look, you know, like they're going off of historical looks. But damage-wise, Black Ops 1 guns should have been much better than World at War.
Though, there are some weapons which redeem the game. Upgrading the Colts, Commando, Galil, AUG.
Yo, the Galil, ooh. Don't even get me started with the Galil. That is my go-to gun in zombies to pack if I get that one. God tier gun.
Ray gun, and Thunder gun all provide the player with some exciting weaponry. Sadly, though, there's not much more than that. You're basically stuck on using assault rifles or wonder weapons, whereas in previous and future games, the player is capable of using snipers, shotguns, and SMGs into the later rounds. Sadly,
I don't know anyone who uses a sniper,
the player is left with
but the rest are true.
Unique weapon types. This severely undercuts Black Ops 1 as a whole, but seeing as Kino is already an extremely
Black Ops 1 just is such a rough game when it comes to the guns. I don't know, man. They could have done so much more with them. They could have made them much better damage-wise. Some are great, some are horrible. They just kind of made them all the same in a way, like damage-wise.
Basic map, the flaw is much more glaring here. Now, next we have one of the more weaker links of Kino Der Toten, which is storyline. From the moment you hit start game, it is obvious that this is a map with very little storyline development. While loading, the player is only given a short audio clip from Richtofen with a still image on the screen.
Perhaps this station will hold the key to the real goals of Group 935. I still do not trust my unconventional allies, but they are of great use to me. But I digress. Who would have thought the MDT was capable of time travel? How many stations does this group have? Where did that little girl disappear to? Only time will tell what new questions await us in this theater of the damned.
Okay, as the launch title,
I'm not even gonna lie, I've never heard that.
This is something that has always disappointed me, as the potential for a great introduction existed, but it was just never capitalized on. I mean, they had an intro for 5, but not Kino. On top of that, there's very little character development.
I never really care about the intros. And now that I mentioned it, it is strange.
It's a stopping point between Doris and Ascension that doesn't really matter. and the only thing we really get of interest or mystery are the rooms we briefly teleport to. Now, these give us access to video reels, which create a much needed intrigue, but still, they kind of leave the player desiring more. Seeing Samantha's room is very nice foreshadowing, and I have to give Kino points in that regard, as it is a very nice touch. And I mean, let's also not forget 115. Not only is it the greatest zombie song, it stands on its own as just an amazing metal song of the world.
That's true. Bro,
So
this song is actually so-fire, dude. I remember having that song play.
It really feels like a step backwards from the storyline development of Doris. But lastly,
I hate to say this, but he's right. Doris is so much better than Kino. But Kino's so much better than other maps that it still is an A tier.
Innovation. Kino Der Toten is, without a doubt, the least original map to ever exist.
Whoa, okay, no. That is a lie, Chief. Nuketown Zombies. Unoriginal fucking mess, man. I guess you could say Barrage Shingler, like, a lot of maps, Shingler especially, are original. But there are definitely, like, Nocturne Toten, it's just a small survival. Sure, it was the first one, but it would be a standard for zombies in general. Yeah, like zombie games in general, even before COD. I would say that's the most technically unoriginal. I don't know. Kino's not unoriginal, just has some original concepts, but some unoriginal at the same time. Who knows? Personally, I think that is a very original map. Didn't it introduce Mule Kick? Am I wrong in saying that? Like, wasn't it the first map with Mule Kick in it? Or am I stupid? I don't know. I personally really love the game. The map, not the game, the map.
Kino Der Toten added nothing. Verrückt, perks. Shinonuma, characters. Doris, pack-a-punch. Kino Der Toten, shit. I actually went to the Zombies wiki to see how they describe what Kino added, and this is all I could find. Kino Der Toten introduces some new components to the zombie mode, including crawler zombies, the fire pit trap, and the thunder gun.
Fam, okay, that's bad. Yeah, no, that's bad. There's no innovation there. I'm willing to admit no innovation occurred during that map.
A new wonder weapon. That's it. And I know exactly what you're thinking. The thunder gun is cool. It's one of the most iconic wonder weapons in zombies history. And to that, I actually agree with you. But guess what? I think I might be about to blow some of your minds here, so bear with me. The thunder gun was actually intended to be used on 5.
5? What the fuck?
Oh my god!
Are you serious? On 5? That is weird. I don't... No. That just seems wrong, though. Kino is so much better for the Thunder Gun to exist on. I guess. Actually, no. 5 would be a very good map. Because 5 is so close quarters. You need that type of gun. The Winter's Howl does not do it, but that doesn't surprise me. It just sounds weird to think about.
It appears the Pentagon has been breached. We are under attack by legions of the undead.
Zombies.
Yeah. Little known fact, but if you don't believe me, just listen to these audio clips.
Time for Operation Thunderbolt. This will blow those marble eyes right out of their heads. Torn asunder! This weapon could make a weaker man lazy. I could get used to this.
So these are quotes from Robert McNamara on the map 5, talking about, you guessed it, the Thunder Gun. See, originally, Treyarch had plans on making the Thunder Gun to be on 5. And that's because Kino Der Toten had been planned to be DLC 4 in World at War. And so this meant that
that's right. Okay, yeah.
The only launch map. A DLC 4 was going to compete with the launch of Modern Warfare 2, however, so Activision didn't allow it. Treyarch then ported Kino to Black Ops 1, made it the launch map, and pushed 5 to a bonus map. So, do you know what that means? The Thunder Gun?
That was a good call, though. Because I don't think people would have liked BL1 as much if 5 was the launch map, the only one. So in reality, I think this actually worked out a lot.
Was originally 5's weapon, and Kino stole it. Same with Nova Crawlers. Anything that you might have thought was an innovation from Kino, small that they were,
boys. That's a rip.
actually really just kind of got ported over from 5 to make the maps balanced. So yeah, Kino added nothing. And the only things that it's really known for were stolen ideas from 5. Okay, so at this point, you probably hate me. You probably disagree with me, and you probably think my view on Kino is tainted, and that I'm a World at War fanboy. But I actually have a very great appreciation for Kino Der Toten, despite my personal distaste for it. Kino Der Toten has aged poorly. Its gameplay
Viagra joke, boys, right here.
mainly has to stand on nostalgia due to its simple nature. Storyline-wise, nothing really happens, and it's just not set in an interesting location. If we break it down to its purest form, it's a simplified Doris clone. It's got a teleporter that you have to link, which accesses Pack-a-Punch. It's got dog rounds. It's got the OG 4 characters, 4-ish perks. I mean, they're identical. And so where I'm going with this is to say that that is actually a really good thing. I might even say that that's the best thing that has ever happened to zombies. See, here's the thing. Kino Der Toten is nothing special anymore, but it did exactly what it needed to do at the time of its launch. See, Doris was an instant hit, a classic, and
Doris is one of the best, if not the best.
Doris took hold of the community that had already formed, but the problem was that it was on DLC. See, Doris nailed the format, but it wasn't in the right packaging. That is to say, as a DLC, it didn't have enough eyes on it. Say, if even 5% of people who bought World at War purchased DLC 3, that's still not a huge audience. It certainly was a fierce one, but Doris just didn't have the position to expand zombies all that much. Kino did. Kino Der Toten took the exact same winning formula, okay? We're talking simple route to power, simple pack-a-punch, boss rounds, cool wonder weapon, awesome Easter egg song, traps, neat characters, cool perks, all of those World at War ingredients, right? It took all that, put it in a different output, and put eyes of the greater community onto zombies. See, if 5% of World at War owners played Doris, I would argue that probably 95% of Black Ops 1 owners played Kino. Simply put, that's because it was the game on disc. There were no gimmicks or V-Buck purchases necessary. You just bought Black Ops 1 and you had Kino. So while Kino Der Toten may not be the most fun map to play anymore, it was crucial for zombies. And whether you dislike it or love it, you have to respect it. Kino Der Toten made zombies the true third game mode of Call of Duty. It consolidated zombies and made it accessible to the larger Call of Duty community. And just as a fun thought experiment, imagine that Kino had been DLC 4 for World at War, and then imagine if 5 had been the immediately available game on launch. Ouch. Now, I love 5, and we'll talk about that next week, but that would have been rough.
Yeah,
5 is
no, that wouldn't have been a good launch game.
And really just truly crazy. Imagine that being the way people were first introduced to zombies. It would have been a nightmare. 5 wasn't bad if you had played everything before it, but going into 5 blind as your first ever zombies map would just not have the same impact. See, Kino was the safe play, but the smart play. The stage is wide open and introduced the general community to training and really just the overall aspects of zombies. You even had this big safe cushion gun to save you when you screwed up. It was really the perfect place for a new generation of gamers to start zombies. So I'll end with this. There's a quote that someone said about
Man's a real like 1,500 points.
Guitar player of
oh my god.
Pink Floyd, and I kind of equate it to Kino Der Toten. It goes something like this. It takes a really skilled guitar player to be able to lay down some amazing and complex licks over a song, but it takes a master guitar player to be able to back off with complexity for the sake of the song overall. That
Yo,
is to
that's
say,
actually
in
so good.
creative
That's a good
situations,
quote to plug into
sometimes
it,
you
you
need
know.
to back off with complexity and your own advancement for the sake of the overall project. That is to say, in creative situations, sometimes you need to back off complexity for the sake of the overall project. And that is Kino Der Toten to a T. While it doesn't serve as a flagship of Treyarch's overall skill, and it didn't add anything new to zombies, it introduced an entire generation.
The
to
reason in my
series
mind is the
in an
best,
easily
but Kino's up there
digestible
for
way.
sure.
And while I see the community very
It was so needed,
polarized
man.
about Kino, either hating it or loving it, I encourage you to step back and appreciate it for what it was. Coming back to the Derice comparison, World at War Zombies was the tiny campfire which took flame via the sparks of Derice. And while Kino Der Toten was never a spark itself, it was the gentle breeze which blew the fire out of its pit and into the adjacent dry forest next to it. Kino Der Toten was the map that spread this uncontrollable wildfire, and it was about to burn hot for more than half a decade.
Okay, you know what? That was a really good video. I can see where it's coming from on some of those points. Not sure if I 100% agree with them on some of those. Yes, personally, I will stand by the fact that that Kino is one of the best zombies maps ever. I can see his points though. I do think that Kino was unoriginal in some ways. I'm still shocked about that Thunder Gun. But I think that was needed for sure. That map was needed, or else I think BL1 zombies, at least the first amount, like the biggest amount of people that tried it, would have seen it as a flop. But you know what? With Kino, it appealed to the people who weren't as good at the game. They're casual players. It appealed to those people, and I was a casual player at the time. I still would classify myself kind of like an intermediate player. I don't care enough to play like professionally or make a career out of just playing zombies like some other YouTubers have. But you know what? I love it. I tried doing high rounds. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, that's my stance on it. By the way, if you want to watch his original video, it'll be in the iCard to my right. And so will my tier list video. So go check that out. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And also hit that notification bell so you're notified of when I upload. And follow me on Twitch. Link is down below in the description. Same with using code GOLDEN for 10% off at checkout. Also, that link is down in the description below. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out, everybody. Bye.